Welcome back to Retro Rich. This is R-Type, PC Engine, 1080p Scanlines, and Bezels in RetroArch. So here we go, R-Type 1, Japanese version for PC Engine. There's two versions. Japanese one just has 4 levels on, because at the time they didn't know how to fit 8 onto a less than 4 meg hue card, but that changed over the years. Running it from Launchbox through RetroArch. So here we go. Let's do it. So just to see, as you can, we have lovely bezels there. Gorgeous they are. And the shader I've used is a Scanline shader that I spent probably a year going through hundreds of Scanlines. I did it on the little SNES Mini. And yeah, this just looks exactly as it did for me back in the UK when I first got a PC Engine. It's what got me into the import scene. I got a console as soon as they came out, probably £200 with Chan and Chan. And yeah, R-Type came soon after that. I mean, this was massive back in the day. This would flicker like crazy on the original software, this bit. But yeah, we had the luxury in the UK of proper RGB Scar. I mean, I guess it was in the US, but I never seem to hear about it. It's more S-Video, those kind of things. And it's just not the same. This gives a real strong, sharp image, RGB Scar. So it looks like this, scan lines just like this. There's so many scan lines out there, just not quite right. I think these have been the best that I've ever seen. But a great game this, really close to the arcade. People say it's arcade perfect, it's not arcade perfect. I mean, it scrolls up and down, which is fine. You can kind of handle that. There's a slightly reduced screen size as well, so you might be thinking that I've not stretched it to fill the borders, but every other PC Engine game kind of fills the screen. And, you know, they're single pixel thinness, those deflecting lasers. They're a lot thicker in the arcade. A lot, bit of beefier sound effect. Great designs though, great end level boss. That's just a background. The only sprite and animation there is the tail moving. Easy enough to kill though. Nice and simple. Crack on to level 2. But yeah, I got this and a bunch of other games, probably about 7 or 8 in one batch for Christmas. And that would have cost you a fortune back in the day. However, I got them from Telegames in Leicester. So if you're old enough to remember that. And at their price, it certainly would have cost you a fortune. But they did something one year called price matching. And I just simply showed them all the different adverts in computer video games magazines. And they did the good deed and honoured it. So I got some real bargains. So this was probably about 30 quid back in the day, 25, 30 quid, something like that. Man, it was a good game. Yeah. And I wish I didn't get that weapon then, because it ain't going to help me much at all. Still, we press on. So again, the scan lines really show. Just get rid of that pixelated look to a certain extent. Here comes Mr. Snake. Super non-threatening. And I need this on the back to finish this boss off. Which is basically just a single beam like that in the right there in the eye. It's normally where I die, just trying to get into position. One shot. I think it my homing missiles have been catching it, so that's not good. There we go. Nice and easy. Super simple. So level 3 is the big green kind of mothership spaceship thing. I remember seeing screenshots in computer video games, just wondering how the hell Does this level work? And I didn't realise that the ship kind of moved around it. Because back then we'd never seen anything like that. You would just scroll from left to right, like in Gradius, for example. So that was a big deal. I mean, there's no background or anything there. You're just looking at plain black. But man, it was good in the day, this. Like, super impressive. I don't get impressed the same with games nowadays. Graphics are great, but we kind of just expect it all. So it's nothing fancy. And it's a shame. The leaps between things like a PS4 to a PS5 is not that great. But you jump from, you know, when I used to play things like Sinclair Spectrum and Commodore 64 to this. It's like, what the hell? Massive differences. Really big in its day. Get on. Can you slow down there? Don't want that. Yeah, one beam and it's down. And then we're on to the dots level, which is rock hard at one point. And I've not done this for years, so forgive me if I don't make it. But it gives you an idea of what this game will like, a few of my thoughts, and that's really what this video is all about. And to show off the bezels and scanlines a bit, which are gorgeous. I must admit, as I've got older, I have lost my touch on old games. I once famously completed R-Type 2 in a game shop without dying. But man, that took weeks and hours of constant playing and learning enemy patterns. And even then, I was ridiculously lucky to have done it. But I did it, all the same. Need to get that back. And then start clearing these dots all here. So I should be alright now. Just that final boss. Let's see. Let's see indeed. I'm going to use this because it just helps tap. I think this comes from behind, from my memory. Yeah. And I'm dead. Thanks for watching, folks.